Greetings from Sheep Geeks. Are you ready to master TBC Classic? This is where it happens, folks. We want to show you old school methods to spice up your approach. The one in question today is PvE Control. We all know the feeling of messing up certain pulls or letting things get out of hand. Many players today think that PvP and PvE are two different playstyles. That's not always the case. By tapping into your PvP knowledge, you can get a better overview and control your environment more easily. Boss mechanics aside, it's not always about doing the most damage or the most healing. Being conscious of your surroundings, your positioning, and your teammates can help you avoid certain doom in classic TBC. Before I begin, I highly recommend you get threat plates. It's a must-have add-on that shows colored unit frames based on your threat. This makes it very obvious when mobs attack the wrong targets. Links and credits are listed down below. Here's the message. Regardless of playing DPS, healer, or tank, knowing your teammates' roles and what they aim to do is crucial to any success. If you're anything like myself, then you've probably tested all three traditional aspects of the game. By understanding their objectives and the specific mechanics, you can anticipate what's going to happen and prevent it from doing so. Let's talk about tanking. The tank is the epicenter of control. Your goal is very straightforward. Keep aggro away from the group. Depending on your class, that can mean different things. Druids and warriors are often regarded as more single target based, whereas paladins have the upper hand in AoE tanking. What you may overlook though is how things can get messy, especially if you die. Staying on your toes like in PvP can greatly increase the stability of any pull. By anticipating incoming calamities, you can assert your influence on whether or not it's a certain wipe. In this clip, it's illustrated how the warrior intervenes with his ally to quickly regain his position. This next one is a paladin using Blessing and Protection on a teammate who's in danger. Lastly, a bear tank is using Hibernate to sleep enemy beasts to limit the pull. Any means necessary to control your enemies is beneficial to your group, not just staying alive. Tanking requires a great deal of patience and understanding because most group members take your role for granted. They often look to you for leadership and guidance. You set the pace for the group, and your knowledge of the mechanics can be crucial to your survival. Let's take a look at healing. Healers and tanks depend on each other to keep everyone alive. Without either, your group will not stay alive for long. Your aim is to heal incoming damage and, better yet, anticipate it before it happens. This is your main source of control. If you can keep players alive when the odds are stacked against you, the victory is short at hand. That doesn't mean you can't control the environment with other spells. In this clip, the priest is using Mind Soothe to skip mob packs and shackling undead targets. The shaman in this clip is interrupting casts with Earthshock. People might overlook the healer's influence in the game. Their positioning may be the difference between life and death. That's why all players must stay in line of sight with the healer, as well as protect them from harm's way. Even as a DPS, you can help the healers by controlling enemies headed in their direction. Last but not least, the DPS. Yes, you know who you are, the pumpers. Spam until you die. Well, guess what? Damage ain't everything, punk. Of course, it's a vital role to the group dynamic. Without damage, the NPCs would take forever to die. However, you'd be surprised how long you can drag out certain fights with good control and healing. Needless to say, not every encounter is the same. Here's a few examples where you can control your enemies or reduce threat. The mage can use Polymorph to interrupt the cast, as well as crowd controlling NPCs. The rogue uses Kidney Shot and Gouge, as well as Kick to interrupt casts. And the hunter is misdirecting targets to the tank and trapping enemies. Any group would greatly appreciate a damage dealer that knows how to control the environment. If you can bring good DPS and knowledge of how the two other roles function, then you'll increase your chance of success. What most people disregard is that control is more effective than pushing those meters at any cost. Using 1 extra second to get a clear overview might save your life. Don't put the group at risk because you were having tunnel vision on those yellow numbers. Think of PvE content the way you think of PvP. You want to crowd control when necessary and avoid death. Interrupt casters that want to do you harm and line of sight healers instead of your enemies. And that's the full story. If you want to read more about next level game mechanics, check the information and links provided in the video description. Join the herd, click all the buttons below, and tell us the way it is by leaving a comment.